can we find the indefinite integral of x times e raised to the x? To do this, we need to use something called integration by parts. The integral of u dv is equal to u times v minus the integral of v du. So we need to determine u, dv, v, and u, and du. Let me put it in a different order. So, which one should we set equal to u, and which one should we set equal to dv? It's best to set u equal to x, because if we do so, du will simply be equal to 1 times dx. And when dealing with constants, they're a lot easier to integrate than variables. So we're going to make dv equal to e to the x dx. Now, v is the integral of dv. The integral of e to the x is simply e to the x. So now using the formula, u times v, that's going to be x times e raised to the x minus the integral of v du. V is e to the x, du is 1 dx. And the integral of e to the x is e to the x plus some constant c. So this is the final answer. That's the integral of x raised to the, or x times e raised to the x. Let's try another problem. Let's integrate x times sine x dx. So what should we make u and dv equal to? So just like before, I'm going to make u equal to x. So that du is going to be 1 dx. Now dv has to be what remains. Sine x dx. Now what is the integral of sine? The derivative of what function will give us sine? The integral of sine is negative cosine. The derivative of negative cosine is positive sine. So using the formula, the integral of u dv is equal to u times v minus the integral of v du. So u is x, v is negative cosine x, and then minus v, and du is 1 dx. So far we have negative x cosine x, and then these two negative signs will become positive, so plus the integral of cosine x dx. Now the antiderivative of positive cosine is positive sine. So the final answer is what you see here. Negative the problem to work on. Let's integrate x squared ln x. So what should we make u and dv equal to in this problem? If we make u equal to x squared and we make dv equal to ln x dx. The integral of ln x will be quite difficult to do, unless you know what it is, so we're not going to do that. So it's best to make dv x squared dx, and u is going to be ln x, because we know the derivative of ln x. The derivative of ln x is 1 over x. And the antiderivative of x squared, the antiderivative of dv will give us v. So the antiderivative of x squared dx is x cubed over 3. So let's use the formula now. U times v, that's going to be ln x times x cubed over 3 minus the integral of v times du, and du is 1 over x. It's supposed to be dx. So this is equal to 1/3 x cubed times ln x. And then we could cancel an x. And so we have minus 1/3 the integral of x squared dx. The integral of x squared is going to be x to the 3rd over 3, and then plus some constant c. So the final answer is 1/3 x cubed ln x minus 1 over 9 x to the 3rd plus c. And that concludes this problem. So let's work on some more examples. Let's try this problem. What is the antiderivative of the natural log of x? How can we use integration by parts to get this answer? Now, we can't make u equal, well, we can't make dv equal to ln x, because we don't know the integral of ln x. We're trying to figure that out. So therefore, we have to make u equal to ln x. The derivative of that is 1 over x dx. dv has to be just, we can make dv dx if we want to, or 1 dx. And so v, the integral of 1 dx, is just x. So now let's start with the formula. And so it's going to be u times v. U is ln x, and v is x, minus the integral of v, and then du is 1 over x dx. So far we have x, ln x, x times 1 over x. The x variables cancel, so we have the integral of 1 dx. Now, the integral of 1 dx is x. So this is the final answer. X ln x minus x plus c. That is the integral of the natural log of x. Let's find the indefinite integral of x squared sine x dx. So which part should be u and which part is going to be dv? We need to make u equal to x squared. And we need to differentiate it twice to bring it down to a constant. So this is one of those problems where you have to use integration of our parts 2 times. Du is going to be 2x dx. dv is sine x dx. So this is dv, and this is going to be u. The integral of sine is negative cosine. So let's start with the formula. So u times v, that's x squared times negative cosine x minus the integral of v, which is negative cosine x, times du, that's 2x dx. So let's organize what we have. Negative x squared cosine x, and then these two negative signs will become positive, so positive the integral of 2x cosine x. We could take the 2 and move it to the front, so it's just going to be x cosine x. Now, we need to use the integration by parts formula on the integral of x cosine x. We're going to make u equal to x, and dv is going to be cosine x dx. The integral of cosine is sine, and the derivative